Well, good morning and welcome to Ed's Orchids. Now it's a cold and misty day today and very dark, so I've had to put the overhead lights on here, and we'll just go and have a look at the Phragmipediums. As you can see, I've got, I think it's 7. So what I'll do, I'll go through each one in turn and we'll just have a little talk about them. Well, the first one we'll look at is this Phragmipedium grande, and I've grown this up from being virtually a little seedling, but I thought I was going to lose it, but it's taking off, and it's grown very well. Probably stands about 6 inches tall now, so that's coming along fine. But before I go along and talk about the other Phragmipediums, I'll give you a bit of talk about Phragmipediums in general, how I keep them, and what I feed them on, etc. like that. I'll go through it all. But as you know, I've kept these Phragmipediums donkeys years ago and grew some very, very big ones. And then, as what happens in the Orchid Society, you fall out with one variety, pick another one up. But now I'm coming back to the Frags, and I've been back with the Frags now about 12 months, so we'll see how we go on from here. Well, to begin with, it goes without saying that to grow these properly, as like all other orchids, what we have to do is to think about what they grow like in the wild, what conditions they're susceptible to, and try and give them what they get in the wild. Now, Phragmipediums grow where the roots are nearly always being washed by flowing waters, such as cliff sides where the rain falls down from the top of the hills through the cliffs and over the roots of the Phragmipediums. They also grow where there's near streams, rivers, waterfalls, things like that. But we must always remember that this water that they get is very pure, and should always make sure that the water we use should have a low TDS. That means very low in dissolved salts. And with all these roots, and with all this water flowing over their exposed roots, then it tells me one thing, and it tells me that the roots are not suited to having their roots watered with warm water. I might as well add that Phragmipedium roots don't like to be warm. Although we won't water them with very cold water, I like them to be watered, which is what we might call cool. Regarding potting media, frags like to grow in anything you wish to put them in, and it always seems strange that they like a little alkalinity in their media, but they like to be watered with water that is slightly acidic. Now, some growers put shell pieces and oyster shell and all sorts like that in their eggshells, and they put that in the media to help with the alkalinity, but I don't know whether they all realise that calcium carbonate will only give off alkalinity if it's being kept in ice cold water. And how many of us use cold water on our orchids? Now, I've been experimenting for about 12 months with lava rock, which is neither alkaline nor acidic. It's quite neutral. And I've been doing this for about a year now, and the frag seems to be doing fine. But as you probably know, lava rock is not a good wicking media, but it contains millions of holes which hold water and nutrients. Now, to feed nutrients, I like to put a pinch of dolomite lime onto the damp surface of the media where it would be held by some of the holes in the lava rock. I do this about every 4 weeks, and I also like to feed this way by adding fish blood and bone or another slow release fertiliser such as Nutricoat. I only use slow release fertiliser every 6 months, like in a May or November. Now, to help me with this, Nutricoat has an NPK of 1868 and Fish Blood and Bone has an NPK of 3, 9 and 3, which shows that Nutricoat is high in nitrogen and Fish Blood and Bone is high in phosphorus. So with this in mind, I use Nutricoat in May and Fish Blood and Bone in winter. Now the plants need growth in the summer with the nitrogen and phosphorus in the winter to help develop spiking and blooming. Well, there's not much more I can tell you about how I grow my frags. I keep them well watered and I make sure that they're nearly always damp, but if they dry off for a day or two, it won't do them any harm. Well, we move on to the next one, and this is a Phragmipedium schroderi. And now, like the Grande, this also is a hybrid of a caudatum and Sedenii. Now, Sedenii being also longifolium like the Grande, but this time Sedenii also has schlimii. Now, they're all much of a muchness, but we'll leave that as it is and have a look at the plant. Now, I've had trouble with this plant. The old growth, which is over here, had to cut a full growth off because of disease. It was all wet and sticky, and I've just forgot the name of what that disease is. So I chopped it off and put some dragon's blood on it, and it seems to be doing okay because it's coming up with at least one new growth there. And if I turn it, you see there's a new growth here that's died. Where are we? Here. That's died. So hopefully there's one new growth there. It will come round to the back and hopefully we'll find a nice new growth. Bit difficult here at the moment with so many plants on the table. Yeah, I hope you can see that nice new growth here. So I hope the schroderi will do better because I've always had trouble with this one. And I just don't know why. But maybe I'll be lucky this time. The next one we have is this Phragmipedium Andean Fire. That's just dropped off, so there we are. Now, I used to have a real big plant of this, and as I said before, I got fed up, so I got rid of it. But now I've got another one that's not as big, but it has been flowering. But the thing I've noticed about this is the flowers haven't been half the size of the original that I had, and it's flowered a few times. As you can see, it's flowered wherever this leaf is. So it's flowered 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th time it's flowering. But the flower is so small, I much prefer to cut it off and let a bit of strength go back into the plant. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this off. Here we are, get the scissors in my left hand. See if I can get to the plant. Cut it off here. I'll cut it off lower in a bit. There we are. We've got it off. And as you can see, this bulb, it was trying to open, but it's only tiny. You see, that against my finger, it should be twice as big as that, and it's pretty soft. It would have opened, but the flower only be very small, so I prefer to chop the flowers off when they're like this, because it uses quite a bit of strength from the plant to flower. So I'll put the strength back into the plant. And the next plant I have is a cardinale, one of my favourite plants. These, the blooms are absolutely beautiful, and this has flowered twice for me, and I've shown them somewhere in the in my videos in the past. Bloom once here and another time there. So all the ones round the back, including this nice big growth here, will be the next one to bloom. Another's coming up there. Lovely. So once again, when it's blooming time for these, I will show you again, and they're absolutely gorgeous. And if you want to see one that looks better than this, look for the oh, what is it called, if I can remember? Phragmipedium cardinale birchwood. Absolutely gorgeous. Or if you can't find birchwood, try cardinale wilcox. They're absolutely gorgeous. Now this is quite a big plant. So this is the Cancer. Oh, I just forget what it's. There's Schlimii in it, I think. Yeah, I think there's Schlimii in it. Yeah, but this has got two spikes on it. It's been flowering for a long, long time. This is another spike that has to come off, like I took the other spike off. Because this has flowered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is its 6th flower. So I'm going to cut this one off, which I'll do now. If I can get to the bottom of the spike, I'll put the camera down while I do it. There we are. I've cut that one off, put it next to the one that I took off previously. And the other spike, it's got a flower on, so I'm going to leave that. And this flower is just opening, although once again it's coming up a little smaller than the previous ones. So when it's finished opening and it's been on for a day or two, I think I'll cut this one off as well. Always best to get more strength into the plant for the next blooming season. And that's Phragmipedium Cancer. Plenty and plenty growth on it. Plenty and plenty places for it to flower again. So we'll just leave that and come on to the last one. Now this is a Phragmipedium Piercii, and this is the one that virtually grows in rivers, and sometimes when there's floods it gets absolutely covered and it's underwater for quite some time. These are gorgeous, gorgeous flowers if you can get them blooming. I have seen these, I haven't had one like it. I think the most blooms I've ever had on one of these is 2. But I have seen one with 7 or 8 on in a clump. Oh, absolutely gorgeous they are. So I'm going to treat these all the same. And that's the last one. You can see it's got... it's looking good. There's no brown tips on the leaves or anything. Looking very nice. So I'll leave it at that. I hope I haven't bored you too much. And thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, it would be very nice if you would. And just watch the adverts for 30 seconds at the beginning, and this helps the channel too. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, you've got the alternative to give it a thumbs down. So thanks very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.